Leonardo, how nice of you to meet me here at Princeton for my presentation on all things related to the man on the moon.
Neil, I've often admired the moon, and was so glad to learn more about it.
I'm so glad to hear it. I suppose you couldn't have really known too much about the moon until I showed man how to get there.
My notebooks are filled with sketches of flying machines, army tanks, scuba gear and other fantastic devices centuries ahead of their time. I even designed a robot, an armor at night that could sit up, wave its arms, and move its head while opening and closing an anatomically correct jaw.
Too bad you couldn't actually fly to the moon the way I did.
As an artist, I was keenly interested in light and shadow. As a mathematician and engineer, I was fond of geometry. All that remained was a trip to the moon. Mine was a mental journey. In my Codex Lister, around 1510, there is a page entitled "The Moon. No solid body is lighter than air." I stated my belief that the moon has an atmosphere and oceans. The moon was a fine reflector of light, I thought at the time, because it was covered with so much water. As for the ghostly glow of a new moon, I thought that was due to sunlight bouncing off Earth's oceans and, in turn, hitting the moon.
Amazing. You can see Earth shine whenever there's a crescent moon on the horizon at sunset. Just look between the horns of the crescent for a ghostly image of the full moon. That's Earthshine. You, Leonardo, solved that riddle, which was a mystery for thousands of years. Remarkable.
Thank you. Neil, what was the view from the moon when you were there?
The view from the moon is stunning. When the moon is new, or nearly so, Earth is a dazzling, fully lit globe in lunar skies. Blue and green and swirling white, our planet appears 4 times wider than the sun and 50 times brighter than a full moon.
I was an artist with a very good understanding of light and shadow, and this is reflected in my science. My observations of the moon in its crescent stage led me to the most scientific statement in my codex, that sunlight reflected from the Earth's oceans acts as a secondary light of the moon.
Okay, but let's talk some more about social isolation.
Actually, we have been talking about social isolation.
What do you mean?
Our entire discussion of the moon illustrates the way that objects act as a way of connecting with other people. It is as if the object is the conductor for the connection itself. Just as the light from the sun bounces off the Earth to light up the crescent moon, my personality and essential being is revealed indirectly when I interact with an object, or show feeling towards it.
I can see that we both feel more connected with each other because of our discussion about an object, in this case, the moon.
All objects can act as a conductor of personal connections. In fact, I sometimes think that the primary purpose of all objects, all things, is as a means for people to connect with each other.
What we think about a thing, or how we relate to it, what we feel about it, how we use it, all reveal something of ourselves.
So, if you start talking about things, you quickly learn something about the other person, and reveal something about yourself. You make a connection indirectly, through the thing, or object. It is as if your feelings, character, and personality are reflected through the object so that they become visible to the other person.
Interesting. So if I pay attention to what objects or things have meaning to other people, I will gain insight into how to connect with that person, and will learn something more about that person.
By Job, you've got it.
I have to go. Can you meet me next week to further discuss this?
Sure. I'll send you an email as to where I'll be.